Hi, I'm Dr. Bruce Rippee from the Strategic Advisor Board, helping you bake wellness into the fabric of your culture. Makes for good conversation, and it makes you look like a hero if you're one of the executives trying to help your employees. It's always good to talk about health, okay? So I was asked to do a follow-up on one of my previous ones. I said basically in previous videos, I said that vitamin K2 is missing in most of our diets anymore, and that it's very, very good for cardiovascular health. Well, somebody challenged that actually in a very good way and said, hey, I heard about the Rotterdam study. Would you please bring that to light? I would like to address that as well, because I basically said calcium does not help someone that is having osteoporosis. But I also said vitamin K2 has a tendency to help in all-cause mortality, meaning you get less cardiovascular incidents, you have a better life overall. So I started reading the Rotterdam study. I went through what they looked at, and here's basically the results. It says the results of the study suggest a protective effect of dietary menaquinone, that's vitamin K2, intake against cardiovascular disease in older men and women, as indicated by the inverse association with all-cause mortality. High intake of vitamin K2 does not increase the risk for other major diseases. So basically it was safe. There's no reason to not take it, but they actually noticed that people who did have the appropriate amount of vitamin K2 quite simply didn't die as often. And there was a 15 to 30% correlation in cardiovascular disease and a 25% correlation in all-cause mortality. So if you're interested in life extension, or you're interested in living a better life without the heart attack and strokes, you might want to take a look at vitamin K2. I'm not being mean. I'm just telling you that's the truth. Please look at it and start saying, oh, you know what? I can add that into my diet. It used to be in our diet, and you would think that would be okay, but we started to go to low-fat diets, which was always a mistake. And then we started realizing our meats are not the same either. You have to understand, chicken is not the same as it used to be. Neither is beef and so forth. You get vitamin K1 from green leafy vegetables, right? Or if you want to call it grass in some cases. These phytochemistries come in through the grass. Then there's this fermentation process that occurs. By the way, if you want to start getting good vitamin K2, you can also get that through fermentation processes, right? There's this bunch of the stuff that people will drink of these fermented liquids. They'll also eat things like yogurts. That's actually a good idea. And there's sauerkrauts that have been around forever, right? Why do people eat sauerkraut? You know, it tastes weird. It's got that, but it's also very high in the stuff that we are able to consume and process as vitamin K2. Fermented products are actually really, really good for that. Meats really aren't. They do give you some vitamin K1, which is actually different. That's called phylloquinone, but you really want the menaquinone, and that's going to be your vitamin K2. This study was very interesting, by the way. If you read all of it, it's probably worth your time, but I'm just going to tell you, all-cause mortality is reduced if you consume vitamin K2. It didn't just help the coronary arteries. It actually perhaps helps with some types of cancer. Still being researched, but it's looking pretty good. So please add it to your diet. I will get on the rest of this the next video. All I can tell you is that I really do appreciate your questions. I appreciate your comments. All of those things are fabulous. Love you dearly. Please keep them coming. It lets me research things and I get to find new things out. One of those is vitamin K. I knew about K1 and K2, and I realized there was a 5. Did you know that vitamin K has a 1 through 10? There really is. In nature, there's a vitamin K 1 through 10. If K1, they talk about, that's coagulation. If you want to stop somebody from having these difficult times where you bump the skin and it bleeds forever and ever and ever, you can actually suppress K1. Unfortunately, the people that are on blood thinners and all of this kind of stuff, they suppress that suppresses K1, but unfortunately it also suppresses K2 and very likely the rest of the vitamin K chain. So those people are dealing with a lot of cardiovascular insult, and it's kind of rough on them. So let's pray for them. Let's have them get to be a better, healthier lifestyle. And in the meantime, be an example of what's possible.